Hi, hello everyone. Lovely to see you again. Thanks for tuning in for another Thursday Reads with me, Cathie Dunn. Something I think I'll do every week and I'll continue to do as it's quite fun to do these readings, and I hope you're enjoying them too. Today I'm going to read an excerpt from a novella called Silent Deception, which I wrote quite quickly back in 2012. It's only available in ebook, so you can get it on Amazon, Smashwords, iTunes or iBooks as it's called, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, and it only costs 99 cents throughout. The price will never change. So it's a Victorian Gothic novella, so it's a bit of paranormal, haunted house meet historical romance with a young lady who inherits this house unbeknownst to her. It existed, and of course she has help in the shape of a dashing young earl. And yes, I'll read a couple of extracts and I hope you'll enjoy them. Chapter 1. A gust of wind tugged at her cloak the moment Minerva Goodrich alighted from the coach. She took a deep breath, relishing the salty tang of sea air after the stuffy interior, and looked around. A row of neat cottages flanked a whitewashed inn. Church bells rang the hour from behind her. After a week's travel, she'd finally reached her destination this early afternoon, the tranquil tin mining village of Trekellis. A gust of wind billowed her skirts, and she patted them down. "Thank you." She smiled at the young lad who'd assisted her down the steps. "My, it's a little breezy." "Aye, miss." He grinned as he took her portmanteau from the coach driver, almost falling over in his effort, and set it down beside her with a thump. "Anyone coming to collect you, miss?" Minnie shook her head. "No, I simply need to find someone to take me to Trekellis Manor." The lad blanched and took a step back. "Why would you be going there to that place? It's empty." Minnie smirked. Certainly he meant to say it was haunted. "I know, but not for much longer. Is there anybody?" "Nobody goes in there, miss." He vehemently shook his head and pointed at the inn. "Best make yourself comfortable in the deer's head first." The boy grabbed the handles of a case and lugged it inside. Minnie followed him through the smoky main room, keen not to lose sight of her only belongings. Well, apart from Trekellis Manor, that was. Excitement coursed through her again, just as it had done since she first heard about her unusual inheritance. A manor in a remote part of Cornwall. The lad set down the portmanteau beside a small table in what was clearly the ladies' corner, partly hidden by a wooden partition, then doffed his cap and rushed past her. Surely it can't be that bad. Was she supposed to be haunted too, simply by association? Superstitions. She shook her head. Several men watched her. Head held high, Minnie sat on the wooden bench beside her case and returned the stares over the rim of the partition. A young girl dressed in a simple black gown approached her. "Care for refreshments, miss?" She smiled, but Minnie declined. "Thank you, another time. Once I'm settled. For the moment, I'm looking for a man to take me to Trekellis Manor. Would you know such a guide?" Someone would have a horse and cart to take her there. According to the map, the house was barely 2 miles from the village, perched high on top of a cliff overlooking the ocean. Minnie thought the location was rather romantic, even though the house would require some work after it had stood empty for over 40 years. After his suicide. "Trekellis Manor." The lass took a step back, her voice hollow. A hush descended over the room. "Not another one." Minnie sighed. "Yes, I'm not asking anyone to enter the house. I can do that perfectly by myself, although I'll be keen to hire servants to help me with the running of it." In a far corner, an old man spat on the floor, his grey, straggly beard quivering. "You wouldn't want to stay there, miss. Walker's ghost haunts the corridors. Go back to where you came from." He rose and left, muttering to himself. The solid wooden door banged shut. A shiver ran down Minnie's spine. That's the first bit. Now we're going into Gideon's point of view. Gideon Drake 8th Earl of Rochdale stared at the beauty in front of him, puzzled. The lady's pout and stubborn look intrigued him. He knew Trekelly's manor belonged to a landowner in Canterbury, but he was sure the man had died a few years before. Was she a relation? Remembering his manners, he sat down the ale and bowed. Gideon Drake, at your service. Miss Minerva Goodrich. Her stance relaxed a little. He smiled. She must indeed be related to William Goodrich, the last owner. He kissed her gloved hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Minerva Goodrich. So Trekellis is yours, you say? She withdrew her hand and linked it with the other. Yes, I've inherited it from my father. Ah, that explained the ownership. But did she know what had happened? Not waiting for his response, Miss Goodrich continued. I've travelled over a week and I'm exhausted. Now there's nobody willing to take me to the house. The manor might not be fit to live. The manor may not be fit to live in. You might not even like it. Perhaps you should stay at the inn first. She shook her head. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not. It's mine, and I have no other choice. Her voice quivered and the amber eyes moistened with tears. It is imperative I get there today. Gideon bowed again. Then it will be my pleasure to accompany you myself. He turned toward a young man nursing an ale in a corner. Jim, get that cart of yours outside. We'll take Miss Goodrich to her property. The lanky young man stood. But it won't take long. Sensing the man's hesitation, he added, it'll be worth your while. Jim downed his ale and strode out the door. Gideon turned to Miss Goodrich. Please take a seat until Jim has brought his cart round. Then we'll be on our way before this gale worsens. He sent her an encouraging nod, then followed Jim. He caught up quickly with the young miner whose sullen expression showed Gideon exactly what he thought. I know, Gideon lifted his hands. The place is supposedly haunted, but I've yet to hear of a ghost that attacks people for simply going near. Now, let's go. Right, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed that little excerpt, that little snippet from Silent Deception, and I hope you'll enjoy reading it if you fancy, and also that you'll be joining me next Thursday for another excerpt from one of my novels, one of my books, or perhaps a sneak preview of my upcoming title. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.